Check the global AI leaderboards. Right now, you'll see the names you expect: GPT, Claude, Gemini, and then you see it. In third place, a new model just came out of nowhere and started beating the legends. It's not American. It's a Chinese model called Kimi K2 thinking. And it's not a fluke. Benchmarks from artificial analysis show it's already smoking Grok 4, Claude 4.5, and even Gemini 2.5 Pro. And here's the kicker. They're doing this with one hand tied behind their back. China has a massive chip disadvantage. The United States has 37 times more manufacturing capacity and locks down access to all the cutting-edge tech. And they're still catching up. This isn't just a tech race anymore. This is the new Cold War, and the battleground is artificial intelligence. The new contenders. This new Kimi K2 model was built by a Beijing company called Moonshot AI, created for one purpose: to build frontier models. And they just published results claiming Kimi is already trading blows with GPT-5 and Anthropic's top models on agent reasoning. And they aren't alone. Just hours ago, Baidu, that's China's Google, dropped Ernie 5. They're claiming it has better visual understanding than anything from OpenAI or Google. They showed an example where someone uploads a random photo, and Ernie 5 perfectly pinpoints the exact street lane in Singapore it was taken from. These aren't Me Too products. These are contenders. China's cheat code, brutal efficiency. So how are they catching up so fast? You have to understand, China isn't playing the same game. The American strategy is shock and awe, brute force. The Chinese revolution is one of efficiency. Take their last big model, DeepSeek R1. It was supposedly trained for less than $6 million. GPT-4 cost $100 million. That's a 94% discount. DeepSeek was the first model that went viral just for beating the Americans, for destroying the empire. A lot of people are still using it, even though it's now an inferior model. Why? Because it feels like it works, and they don't have a true benchmark for what's better. But this new Kimi K2 model, it's a different beast. It's not just smart, it's brutally efficient. Look at this chart. You've got intelligence on the vertical axis and price on the horizontal. All the expensive, powerful American models like Claude 4 and Grok 4 are way over on the expensive side. And then you see Kimi K2. It's deep in the cheap quadrant, but it's the smartest model in that entire bracket. It's a total lightweight, and it's punching way, way above its weight class. The secret sauce, compression and hardware. How? They're using new math, new training techniques to literally compress human knowledge. The old Kimi model was over a terabyte. This new one is more intelligent and is compressed down to just 594 gigs. They are fitting more power into a smaller and smaller box. It's so efficient that one researcher announced he's running the full 1 trillion parameter model on 2 Mac Studios. Total cost, $6 grand. To a company like OpenAI, building multi-billion-dollar data centers, $6,000 is nothing. It's a rounding error. This changes the entire game. This isn't an accident. It's a strategy. Look at the research papers. China is publishing more AI papers than the US, the EU, and Russia combined. For years, the narrative was quantity over quality. Just noise. Useless papers to get university promotions. But that's changed. China is now a leader in real innovation. Their BYD electric car batteries are more advanced than Tesla's. They just invented a bone glue for medical research. They lead the world in solar. The copycat narrative is dangerously out of date. But does it feel good? America fights back. Okay, so China is fast and cheap. Case closed? Not so fast. There's a test called the LLM Arena. It's a blind test. You ask 2 different AIs the same question, and you pick the winner without knowing who made it. It's the ultimate test of what users actually prefer. And the king of the arena right now? Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro. The benchmarks might be close, but Gemini consistently gives better, more useful answers. Why? Google has a secret weapon. It's custom-built tensor processing units, TPUs. It's hardware designed specifically for this. It gives Gemini a better memory and stops it from forgetting the context of the conversation. And it's not just Gemini. Ask any serious web developer, they're not using Kimi, they're using Claude. In the dev charts, the Chinese models are at the bottom. So America still wins on quality and usability. The real-time scorecard. Let's break it down by category. For writing and coding, America wins. Users and devs prefer Gemini and Claude. For text-to-image, China wins, period. The best image model in the world right now is Hunyuan Image 3.0, made by Tencent. It is smoking DALL-E 3 and the others. The images are stunning. For text-to-video, America is barely holding the lead. OpenAI's Sora 2 generates 60 seconds. But China's Kling 1.6 is right behind it at 45 seconds. They are closing the gap fast. The hardware war. This all leads back to America's ace in the sleeve, pure, unadulterated hardware dominance. By the end of 2025, the United States will control 75% of all high-performance GPU clusters on Earth. China is a distant second at 15%. The entire rest of the world combined has 10%. The US strategy is to buy all the chips. But is that the winning move? It's a multi-trillion-dollar bet that more GPUs are the answer. China, locked out by US chip blocks, is betting the other way. They are forced to be efficient, and they are racing to build their own chips. In 2022, 80% of their chips were foreign. By 2024, it was 60%. Their goal is to have 70% of their data centers running on domestic Chinese chips by 2026. This is a war of brute force versus elegant efficiency. The twist. This is where it gets dark. This is where the story takes a turn. Because this isn't a friendly competition, it's a war. And in war, people steal. Are Chinese models safe? Look, if you download an open weight model and run it on your own machine, you're fine. It's not a computer. It can't take control. But if you use their API, your data belongs to the Chinese. We've known for a long time that Chinese models got ahead in part by stealing data from US labs. Anthropic has been vocal about this. Of course, US labs aren't saints. Anthropic itself got sued and had to pay out for stealing books to train their models. Everyone's hands are dirty. But today, Anthropic just dropped a bombshell. They announced they found the first documented large-scale cyber espionage campaign, orchestrated 100% by AI with no human intervention. The attacker? A Chinese state-affiliated group. The target? 30 global companies in tech, finance, and government. The AI they used? A human operator just pointed it at a target and the AI did the rest. Finding vulnerabilities, building the exploit, and penetrating the system. But here's the ultimate punchline. What AI did these Chinese state hackers use to run their attack? Their own advanced models like Kimi or Ernie? They used Anthropic's own model, Claude. They infiltrated US systems using US AI. The irony is staggering. Chinese state hackers prefer American AI to do their dirty work. It's the best marketing for Claude and the most terrifying headline of the year. The final verdict, the new Cold War. The Rand Corporation, the think tank that literally guided America through the last Cold War, just published a report on this. Here's their breakdown. Team USA's advantages. Chip manufacturing, we are light years ahead. Raw computing power, we have the data centers. Global infrastructure, we own the pipes. We have the bigger hammer. Team China's advantages. Model efficiency, they do more with less. Their models are cheaper and use less power. Energy production, they will burn coal, build nuclear, or fill a desert with solar. They don't care. They just build. Open source and innovation. They are crushing it in open source AI and innovating faster, at least on paper. This isn't a simple race. This is the new Cold War. It's not being fought with missiles. It's a war of machine intellect, of R&D speed, and of competing philosophies. American brute force versus Chinese efficiency. The pace is dizzying, and it's easy to feel anxious, like you're being left behind. But you can't afford to feel that. The only thing to do is to keep learning, to stay aware, and to understand what's actually happening. You don't have to be a data scientist, but you do have to pay attention, because the winner of this war won't just control the next decade, they'll control the next century. Never stop learning.